The Justice Department has charged 3 North Korean hackers over a wide-ranging scheme that included the attempt at theft of billions of dollars from multiple companies. Authorities say the defendants are part of a North Korean military intelligence agency. They're accused of trying to steal more than $1.3 billion from banks around the world and conducting cyber attacks that targeted the entertainment industry. For more, let's bring in Isaac Stonefish. He's a CBSN contributor, as well as the founder of the firm Strategy Risks. Isaac, explain to us how these hackers were able to gain access and how successful they were.
They were surprisingly successful. I think we look at North Korea, we see this very poor, shambolic nation, but they have some very sophisticated cyber intelligence and cyber hacking capabilities. So they, I think, and perhaps was the most egregious and cinematic example, they set up an initial coin offering, a way for people to buy into a Bitcoin-like product that turned out to be fraudulent and turned out to be releasing malware into various financial systems, allowing them to abscond with millions of dollars. A lot of very clever little hacking tricks that they had that, several years later brought a lot of money into North Korea.
And Wednesday's indictment actually builds off of a case from the 2018 cyber attack against Sony Pictures Entertainment, which I know a lot of us watched very closely with a lot of interest. Remind to us what happened then and the reason that Sony was targeted.
Several years ago, Sony released a film called The Interview with 2 journalists who come up with this harebrained plot to assassinate North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. And in one of those reality being stranger than fiction moments, the North Koreans got very upset about that, hacked into Sony's computers and released a huge amount of information. And it was such an odd moment seeing the North Koreans respond in reality that way, and frankly and sadly winning, because what had happened besides the Sony CEO losing her job, besides a huge amount of privacy lost, is that now studios are afraid of making movies that are offensive to North Korea. So it was a very successful hack, not for financial reasons, but because it scared Hollywood into stepping down when it comes to North Korea.
And just to be clear for our viewers, that was a fictional film that was supposed to be a comedy that actually had these real-life implications. Isaac, you and I have talked at length about a lot of different hacks, but I'm hoping you can explain how this hack and the motive behind it actually differed from ones that we've seen in other nations like China, Russia, and Iran.
The financial situations in China, Russia, and even Iran, which has been laboring under sanctions for quite some time, are radically different from North Korea, which is one of the world's poorest countries. So instead of, say, Beijing trying to meddle in U.S. politics or trying to weaken certain U.S. institutions or trying to just hoover up information about American citizens, for North Korea, it was really about the money. This is, sad to say, a very, very important stream of income for them. And it's not, oh, these are just a handful of people who have advanced computer skills and sort of doing this for their own financial gain. This is a very, very important state source of revenue for North Korea, which for this last year has been dealing both with shutting the country down basically completely because of the pandemic and really long-lasting, hard-hitting sanctions. So this is one thing that the Pyongyang regime is doing to try to stay afloat.
And none of these 3 defendants are actually in U.S. custody. It's unlikely, of course, that they'll face prosecution since they're still in North Korea. So what is really the message that the U.S. is trying to send to these hackers and to the Hermit Kingdom and to Kim Jong-un with this indictment?
Yeah, you make a good point there. In some ways, it is futile. There's almost no chance that these North Koreans are going to turn themselves in. That would be stranger than what happened with the Sony hack. But I think what they're trying to say is, we notice this, we see this happening. North Korea is a criminal state, and the U.S. will continue to do things about it.
All right, Isaac Stonefish, thank you.